All right. Welcome back to episode 3 of the 1K to 10K challenge. In this episode, we are going to go over some small moves we made in the portfolio, but the overarching theme of this video is going to be around Trump's presidency. Okay, we have a new president that is going to try his best to implement change. We're going to go over some positives of of his changes and some negatives, the effect that he is going to have, and how we can best position ourselves with this new president. Okay, but before we get into that, always want to advertise the website here. Okay, this is going to be the home base for everything. We'll have our episodes and articles here. Obviously, we have last week's here, right? And we also have our resources page that I will continue to update. These are some good books that I have read that have changed my life, and I'm sure it will change yours. Okay. Also, with my YouTube channel, just starting, we got 1 subscriber, 2 videos, 14 views. I'm excited to see this grow, right? In this episode, we had $1,000, we added 105, we added 105, and then today we are at 1,242, which is awesome because we've only put in 1,210, so we are moving in the right direction to hit that 10K uh, goal. Okay, first things first, I'm going to go into some moves that I have made. Okay, my first move was actually pulling out the money that I invested in Intel. Intel had a big spike, right? So actually the money that I put in, I was able to pull out while leaving a tiny bit in as that tracker share I mentioned. Now, I do not like Intel at $22. I do not think the risk of losing $22 is worth the potential reward. If this falls back to $17, as I mentioned in previous episodes, then I will be very interested in looking in that. But right now, this is awesome. This costs me zero money, and I still have that tracker share, which is awesome. Okay. My next move was actually selling half of Pepsi. Now, I did not do this because I do not like Pepsi as a stock anymore. I like its price. I think it's a good story. It's got that 3% dividend. But there is, over my research this week and really diving into what Trump's plan are, I think there is a better opportunity in gold. Now, gold, we have moved up to 8%. Now, I know what you're thinking. James, you said 10% of the portfolio is going to be in a safe position, and that's true. However, we are going to look at gold as a hybrid. We're going to see it as a safe position, but also a personal pick. And the reason for this I will get into later, um, along with Trump's plans. Okay, so those were the moves that I have made. I added the $105, so our cash position is looking very healthy, right? We have a free tracker share. We have taken money out at a profit of Pepsi, so our exposure is only 6% with room to grow and the 3% dividend deal. We have increased our gold position, right? And Ford, right, is still at an attractive price. So as we add another $105, we're going to look into buying a little bit more of Ford. It went up to about $10.40, and now it's coming back into a position where I would like to add more. So overall, we're looking good. Now, let's get into the news for today and my thinking revolving the future, especially with our new president. Okay, Trump is going to implement change that is both going to be a positive, right, as well it's going to have some drawbacks. You can argue whether it's going to be good or you can argue whether it's going to be bad. But what we're going to do is we're going to accept what his plans are, and we're going to position ourselves in the best way possible. Okay, I have this article for you. You can read it for yourself. It's a good starting point where they are listing what he is actually going to do. And the overall theme of it is tariffs and tax cuts amid high interest rates and lingering inflation will pose a test for the U.S. economy. Okay, now what does that mean? You can read and find out for yourself, but basically, what through my research and through my thinking, is basically here Trump's economic effect. Trump's plan is to put America first. He has been saying that and saying that and saying that. That has a strong emotional effect on the viewers and the listeners, but what does that mean? Okay? He is going to put America first. This means he is going to draw back, right, from other countries and get a lot of focus on ourselves. He's going to do that with tariffs, securing the border, and it basically becoming self-sufficient. Okay. The first thing we're going to tackle is tariffs. If we look at this headline, tariffs and tax cuts amid high interest rates and lingering inflation will pose a test for the U.S. economy. And it will. Okay. If you impose tariffs, that is going to have an income influence for us. Okay? Tariffs are essentially charging other countries to sell their goods and sell their labors here. Okay? It's going to bring money back to the United States. Okay? That is a very good thing for America as a world power. Okay? We hold the US or the US dollar is the number one reserve currency. Okay. We, as the American government, control it, right? It is the most powerful currency. But what we have been doing is we have been giving it away in return for goods and labor, right? We've been lending it out. Okay. Trump's plan is to bring the money back to us, the number one reserve currency, and increase America's money supply of our own reserve currency, which is very good, right, for America as a power, as a powerhouse, and a player in world affairs. Okay, I highlighted here, this is going to bring money back to the US, right? The reserve currency, we're going to bring it back to the US, increasing our currency, right? Which is very, very good for us. But the drawback is, right, prices are going to rise. This is going to build American industry, right? But it's also going to increase the workload on ourselves as well as the price of everyday goods. Okay. The reason we export services and labor is because other countries are willing to do it for less. So it makes sense from a business standpoint to export those things. But the drawback of that is we are giving away our own money supply and contracting our money supply at home. If we give away the number one best currency to other countries in return for goods and services, we pay less for those goods and services. However, we are giving power away to other countries. Okay, so basically, Trump's plan is to bring that money back, and the drawback of that is we're going to have higher prices and it's going to be more stress on ourselves to become self-sufficient. Okay, we are going to have to pay more as a country to do better as a whole. Okay, so prices will most likely go up, right? But industry will go up, right? And we're going to have to work a little bit harder. He's also focusing on protectionism. He's going to focus on securing our borders, right, so that America is self-sufficient. He is putting America first. He's bringing industry back and he's securing ourselves and he's putting us ahead of the world. Okay? There's positives and there's negatives to that. Obviously, people don't want prices to rise, but we also do not want to give away our power to other countries. Okay? So just reviewing that, he's planning on making America self-sufficient, putting America industry first, and this is also going to increase in military spending. Okay, he's going to make, or his efforts are going to try and make America a powerhouse again. Okay, so how that has an effect on our portfolio is I increased our position in gold, right? Gold is not owned by anyone. The US dollar is the number one reserve currency, and that is tied to the United States government. The euro is the second reserve currency, and that's tied to Europe. The third reserve currency is gold itself, and that is not tied to anyone. That has its own intrinsic value, and it as these tariffs are implemented and as these quote unquote trade wars continue, right? Money supplies are changing, right? Inflation is most likely going to go up. Gold is not going to change. Okay, so we have gold as a safe position as well as a personal pick now. As money supply of the United States government goes up, and gold stays the same, our it is very good that we have gold. Gold is going to become more valuable. Okay, looking forward, as I addressed my thoughts on Trump's plan, we other stocks have started to become um, on my watch list. Looking forward, the first one on my watch list is actually Lockheed Martin. Okay, as I said earlier, Trump is planning to put America first, and this is going to increase American military spending. Okay, now the story, right, seems like a great investment, but I have not looked at the numbers. Okay, you have to remember, and I'll remind you, you can always overpay. Okay, Lockheed Martin could be a wonderful story that's they might thrive in these next 4 years, but you can always overpay. That price might already be priced in, and we'll just have to see if it's a good deal or not. Okay, some other ones I'll give you that I'm looking out for. Okay, first one, which is going to be probably the most risky, is end phase. Oops, don't know why I put that in all caps. End phase. That I'm looking into that one. That one has a good story, but the numbers are almost there. I have to keep looking into that. Another one is going to be Nike. That one has good numbers, but the story is not on his sides with these trade wars. If they can figure out a way with these tariffs to become profitable, that's going to be pretty good. I also have CVS on my list. Numbers look good, very good. Have to look into the story. And the last one is going to be Kraft. Kraft Heinz. That one also has good numbers, but I have to check the story. Okay, when these stocks are on my watch list, I'm looking if the price is good and if they have a good story and good projection growth that's going to drive them to basically become very successful. Okay, moving back to the portfolio. I think we are in the best position possible. We got our um, SPY stock here, which I am looking to increase. We have a healthy cash position. As we add $105, this will go up, and I will spread it among other stocks. Ford is becoming I think it's just going to continue to go up, especially as Trump brings America business back. Gold, I just went over that. I think that is an excellent investment. We have our bond down to 7% safe. Pepsi, obviously, I went over before. I think it's at a good 6%. And then Intel, I'm looking to add at $17. Okay. Um, now that I've gone over everything, I challenge you to go into the comments and let me know your thoughts on the portfolio as well as what you think about my thoughts about Trump coming into office and what you think, right? Obviously, I'm just one person. I have my own views, but how we are really going to grow and how we are all really going to benefit is if we challenge each other's ideas. So if you have different views and you think I should do something different with the portfolio, please, please, please leave your comments down below. And then I'll add $105 and I will see you next Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Friday.